Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk to you today about how to get more customers for your auto repair shop. Now, this is a mechanic shop, basic auto repair shop. This is a place that fixes general mechanical issues for your car. We're not really talking about body shops or PDR, those types of things, but the same strategies can work. But in this case, I am talking specifically about an auto repair shop in your area. So, one of the things you need to focus on is how to get in front of the customers who are looking for you or wasting time, one of the two. So this data I'm going to show you is specifically for our shop, and I'm going to just share that data. Now this is a big city, but it also works for smaller areas as well. So let me go ahead and share something with you. Okay guys, so here we are in Philadelphia, somewhere in behind me. Not really in Philadelphia, but this is what Philadelphia map looks like. So imagine your shop is somewhere in here, but if you're in a different location, you can plug in your location. Okay guys, so now think this is a customer who is looking for an auto repair shop near you, or they might type in mechanic, something like that. Basically the same things should pop up. So yeah, as you should be able to see these little red dots. These are Google business listings. They call it Google Places or Google Business Profile, Google Maps. It's really all the same thing. They changed the name of it, but it's the same thing. So this is how your shop shows up. And if you zoom in, you might start seeing some other ones, but over here on the left are what shows up. And if you notice, these guys have a ton of reviews, which is to be expected. If you're at the top, you should have a lot of reviews in order to get there. And so how would a shop who has very little reviews show up? Well, I'm going to show you that. But first off, you might ask, who is actually looking for my shop? And I'm not getting very many calls. I'm not getting very many people who are requesting information from me. There's a couple things you need. But first off, what I would ask you is, how do you currently get customers? And a lot of people will tell me they get customers by word of mouth or referrals. And those are both great things. We want word of mouth, we want referrals, but the fact is that you're not going to get enough referrals or word of mouth to really sustain your business. So you might think nobody's looking, the only people who are going to shops are by word of mouth. Let's look at something else here. Let me show you a little screen here behind me. Okay guys, so now what we have here is, you should see this little spreadsheet behind me. This is a data that I just pulled for Philadelphia. Now what we're talking about is, I'm not going to show the map again, but it's the Philadelphia area, not the entire area, but just the city. And that city still has a huge population. I believe it's about 1.5 million people. So quite a few people. And what this is, I looked up the keywords for mechanic near me and auto repair near me. And as you can see, there's a lot of combinations, but look at these. This is mechanic near me, AC repair. I don't know if that's car or house, but even if you deleted that, it would be quite a bit. But look at this, 309,000 searches per month for these keywords. So we got mobile mechanic, auto repair, transmission shop, and just all these that would absolutely apply to a auto repair shop, a mechanic shop in that area. So even you got Meineke Car Care Center, stuff like that. So even they're looking for a franchise, but you can actually get in front of people who are looking for that and take away those leads. So as we get down here, you might see these are less searches per month, but still quite a bit. And there's thousands of these searches. So we get down here, we got Honda car repair, Japanese auto repair. All these kind of fall under the same type of searches that people are coming up with, and totaling 309,000 searches per month. And there's no way there's that many referrals. You're not going to have that many referrals or word of mouth. So even the point I'm trying to make is, even if people are asking for referrals, they're still searching online for these types of keywords. And then this over here shows you the average cost per click. Now, when someone clicks on your ad, Google charges. So we didn't really talk about the ad, but I just want you to show that is the massive demand. This is just the city, not including outer areas for that search. Now, obviously, if you're in a smaller area, there will be smaller searches, but regardless, even if you're in a small city area, it's likely that there are very high search results for these keywords because number one is people always need their car fixed or repaired, and it's an ongoing issue. Unless you live in a tiny place with no population, in the middle of nowhere, then it may not help you. But for most people on here, most mechanics with a shop, this shows you the demand. You can find the demand, and you will be able to get in front of people who are looking for your business. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the map and show you where an ad might pop up and how you're going to get in front of those people. As you can see, these guys over here are still showing up high, and typically I'm not going to see an ad because I might be able to trick this and get one come up because I'm not in this area. So if people have their ads set up, then they won't be able to see, I won't be able to see their ad. But if you're in the area, you should be able to pop up, bring up an ad and see what it looks like. But regardless, as you can see, as I move around, I get different results. What an ad is going to do is pop up higher than all these typically. And even though these guys might have more reviews than you, that ad is going to get you to the top of that search result. This is in Google Maps, but it also would work in Google Search. So that is going to basically guarantee you on top of those results. Now, it doesn't guarantee you get a lead. That has to do with how good your ad is, how good your business is. But typically what we're seeing is, as you're up here, people are just clicking that button to call or book or whatever it is, even though they may be looking for a different location, but that ad is showing them that's the top search. So auto repair shop, click, okay, and then if this were on a phone, you're typically going to see a phone number to call. So that's good to know. Now, another thing is people come to me and they don't have a Google listing like this, and they don't have a website. You notice if I click on this person, they've got a website. Most of these people have a website. This guy doesn't look like he has one. So it's hard to tell. But typically, in order to run an ad, you're going to need a website. You can do it a different way, but you're going to want a website, one, so that Google believes your business is more credible. Two, you want one for a landing page in order to capture that lead if they go to your website, go to your Google ad. So if you don't have a website, you really need one. And let me share something with you on this. Okay guys, so here, this is part of my auto shop strategies. And what we say is you have these 5 keys to your auto shop growth. And before we get to that, it's your online presence, Google ads, Facebook ads, these types of things. And your online presence is going to allow you to do ads, okay? You need these things first to even show up. If you don't have them, then the chances of you showing up for customers looking online is very little. And now once you have this, then the next real keys are these right here. So most shops do have a website, Google Business, Facebook Business, but they don't have Google ads, Facebook ads, or follow-ups. Now, if you have the ads and you're not getting leads, then it's likely that the ads are not set up correctly. I won't go through this whole strategies session. We have other videos for that, but I wanted to share that with you, that in order to get Google ads running, you really need a website, Facebook, and Google Business. So set those up, and then you're going to want to optimize those ads for your business. Just because, keep in mind, where are your customers? If people say it's a recession, it's the bad time of year, people aren't buying right now, that's just not correct. It's false for most businesses, and it's definitely not true for any type of auto services, especially auto repair, especially people that need their car fixed. This is going to be happening nonstop every single month, whether it's winter, summer, spring, fall. Doesn't matter the season, the time of year, doesn't matter the economy, because people still need their car fixed. So if you want to get in front of people who are looking for auto repair, then the real key is being on Google, having the website, having Google Business, having Facebook Business, and other places, but at least those, and then setting up your shop, with Google Ads. So setting up, but not just setting up, because Google does allow you to click some buttons and have an ad go up there really quick. But if it's not optimized correctly, if it's not set up correctly, you will quickly spend money that is not producing any leads. So how fast will Google Ads work? That is a question I get. It can work pretty quick. So it can start working. We've seen leads within a first couple weeks. We've seen leads within the first day or two. That's not as common. What you need to understand with Google is it takes data, it takes good data to go to Google and tell you that this is a conversion. And the process would be that someone clicks on your ad, that signals Google that is the search that you want. Now, if that's not the search that you want, then inside Google Ads, you will have to tell Google that that's not a search I want. Let's exclude that search. And the next step would be, if it is the search you want, then out of so many clicks, someone will convert. Now, do you have conversions set up correctly? And the main conversions we want for auto repair shops, auto mechanic shop, mechanics near me, and other auto related services would be phone calls and quote requests on your landing page or website. There's other conversions out there like directions and things, and that's fine for existing customers. It's going to be beneficial. But the real thing that we want, conversions, we want to focus our ads to get website conversions, website quote requests, and also phone calls. So phone calls over 60 seconds. So a short phone call is not as good, but a phone call over 60 seconds is typically a lead. And once you start focusing on those, then the series will be so many clicks equals a phone call or quote request, a conversion. That in turn tells Google, hey, my ad is working how I want it to work. And then it will give you more of that. So it takes time to do that because you don't know how many days or weeks it takes to get that stuff. And if you don't have things properly set up, then it may never work. And also, depending on your budget, it may take more time to get a lead. So how much do leads cost? Typically for auto repair, we look at that cost per click, and it can be in the $1, $3, $2, $3, $4 range. Can be higher if you have a can be higher if you have a poor ad. But typically, if you spec $3, $4 a lead, or $3, $4 per click, and then it's how many clicks equals a lead. What we see typically is anywhere in the range of $10 to $20 is what it might cost per lead. Sometimes it costs more initially, and it can start moving up a little bit, depending on your area, depending on the demand signal. So if you factor that in, spending at least $15 to $20 per day will help you get leads daily. That's the minimum where we would recommend you start with, is probably $15 to $20 a day. If you're a higher shop, you could go up much more. But the key is you want to make sure those ads are working correctly before you're going to spend a lot. Just because Google will spend what you want. Google will force that to spend, but you want to make sure the ads are set up correctly before doing so, before spending a lot, so that you can get the leads that you want. All right, guys, I hope that helps. The big key for you to remember and to understand is that your customers are out there. They're looking for you, especially if you're in the auto repair industry, auto services industry. And that includes other shops like collision. The biggest searches out there for auto will be auto repair, mechanics. The next biggest will be collision. After that, paintless dent repair, detailing, custom, stuff like that. So in that kind of order is typically what we see the biggest search demand for. And the bigger the city, the bigger regional or metropolitan area, the more demand there will be. Lower cities, smaller areas will have a smaller demand, but it will also still be somewhat significant for you in that area. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. And if you want any help for your business, if you want to get a free strategy session, and you can click the link below, probably in the description comments there, and we can see how this can work for you. We can take a look at your specific shop and see what strategies we'd recommend. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.